Last night, I heard a little boy beg his mom not to go into a liquor store. Reddit, what things have you overheard that have broken your heart? For my son's 9th birthday I took my son and a handful of friends to the movies, then to pizza, then they all slept over. On the way home from pizza the kids were commenting on great the night was, and were saying thank you, etc. I said in reply we love having kids over. Out of the blue one boy quietly whispered to me my mom doesn't love me. Broke my heart into bits. I asked why he said that, and he said, she always left me, I would wake up and she would be gone. Come to find out, he had just been placed with his dad that he barely knew. The state had taken him away from his mom for neglect, leaving him every night alone to go to the bar. It had been going on for years and the neighbors would hear him crying alone and call the cops. She is a raging alcoholic and a drug addict. Still, his dad had only met him once before, and was currently living with a new girlfriend, and she didn't like kids. His son was now sleeping on the floor of the girlfriend's apartment as there was no room for him. It was fucking heartbreaking. To make matters worse, he sat alone every day after school on the steps of the library waiting for his dad, sometimes till past 7 p.m. When I found out I had him over every single day, eating a snack, doing homework together with my son, eating dinner most nights. Less than a year later his father asked if I could take him for a while. He had broken off with the girlfriend and had nowhere to go, and nowhere to bring his son. No problem. I'm a single mom of one son, but I always have room for anyone who needs to stay. His dad brought over all of his clothes in a garbage bag, everything he owns. He never officially was mine, but I became his adopted mom since that time, bringing him to the doctors, going to parent-teacher conferences, music concerts, etc. He is 19 now and doing fantastic. He made it through high school at an honors AP level, and then went to college on full scholarship. But better than that, he is an awesome person, funny, smart, kind, loving. I love my adopted son. What are some college life pro tips? Try to make friends with someone in each class. Classwork is a lot less stressful if you have people you can discuss things with, or get notes if you miss a day, or who can give you a heads up about changes in assignments, etc. Find a toilet nobody knows about on campus, one that's clean, or has 2-ply toilet paper. Find that magical toilet and tell nobody of its existence. If you skated through high school without really learning how to study, manage your time, or do any real work, and you think you can do the same thing in college, you're probably gonna be in for a very rude awakening. Don't buy your books at the bookstore. Always buy from Amazon, Chegg, or some other source. The bookstore is way overpriced, and never worth your time. When you meet your roommate for the first time, scream as loud as you can and kick them in the chest, asserting your dominance for the remainder of the semester. Be on guard for similar displays for your roommate, as the dominant status will be used later to select mates. What is one rule that was implemented at your school or work that backfired horribly? My high school was trying to prevent a senior prank since the class before us had got a little out of hand. They basically told us not to have one, that they would get anyone who did anything in a lot of trouble, yada yada. So somebody has an idea. What if we do an anti-prank? The idea had floated around the halls and everyone knew what we were going to do. For an entire week, every senior was going to bring a potentially threatening item for a senior prank, and do nothing with it. The week starts and that Monday, nearly the entire senior class carries a banana with them to every class. This is a school of 2,600 student, 650 graduating class. So there are hundreds of bananas being carried through the halls, teachers and assistant principals freaking out. By noon, an announcement was made that all bananas needed to be eaten or thrown away or they would be confiscated. So by that afternoon, every banana was taken away from the student. The next day got even better. Somebody has the idea that we should all bring a gallon jug of water with us to class. And to no one's surprise, again there is an announcement that they are going to start taking up the water jugs for fear of what we are going to do with them. But this time, the students got creative. People are resentful now and not wanting to give up their precious water. Students are getting creative, hiding them in backpacks, avoiding teachers in the hallways, whatever it took to keep their water jugs. But alas, most of the jugs had been confiscated. So the students start taking to social media. Tons of tweets and mentions are going out to local news stations, DMZ, Oprah, Ellen, you name it, they got mentioned. All of these messages are going out along the lines of school is confiscating all water, not allowing students to drink water #high school drought 2kxx #wording #send help. You get the picture. Before the end of the day, 2 different news reporters were at our school. Guess we had the last laugh after all. What are your NSFW or slightly illegal life hacks? In 8th grade I lived in an apartment and I used to stick a wad of tissue paper up the vending machine change return, and every evening I'd reach up there and pull my day's loot of change down. I'd pocket about $7 per day. People just assume the machine ate their change. I have one that my dad did back in college, more of a one-time life hack than anything. His professor basically spent all his free time writing, and trying to sell to Hollywood, a script for a movie. He was barely there during office hours, he was super disorganized when it came to the students, things like that. Come finals. And my dad slept through it. He slept through the final, and was absolutely panicking, so he decided to play things a little underhanded. When grades were posted, and his was naturally not there, he went to the professor and said, "Sir, about my test score. I noticed that it wasn't posted." Technically true. Although he didn't state the reason why the score wasn't there, the professor began looking through his notes and obviously didn't find the test. But the professor was so disorganized that he was convinced that he had lost the test. "Oh, yeah. You got a B+" he said, quickly jotting the grade down on the grade sheet. My dad got up, walked out, and never effing looked back. Does that girl seem out of your league? Picture her taking a shit. It puts her right back on your level. Now she's way out of my league cause she's hot and into kinky stuff. I can't stand my wife. I've come to the realization that I just flat out do not like my wife anymore. It isn't a rough patch or something that I will work through. She is simply a person that I do not enjoy being around. She is a complete Karen who will literally demand a manager for every perceived slight, and it is fucking embarrassing as hell. She is constantly bragging and laughing about all the people she has argued with and blocked on various platforms like Facebook and Nextdoor. She never shuts the fuck up but never has anything or importance or relevance to say. Everything that she does is just nails on a chalkboard to me. But I couldn't imagine only spending half the amount of time with my kids. There is absolutely no way I could live with that. So I will just keep going pretending that I love her and am some devoted husband so I can try and set a good example for my kids and spend as much time with them as possible. I accidentally pooped on my boyfriend's bed last night. Me 25 female and my boyfriend who's 24 have been dating for about a year now. We have this stupid joke where we say we are going to poop on each other's furniture. I don't really know how to explain it or when this joke started, but it's just a dumb thing that we say to each other. The joke progressed to us squatting on things like the couch or carpet, fully dressed, and saying that we are going to poop on it. Last night me and my boyfriend were taking a shower and I got out before him because I was already done. I was squatting naked on the bed and giggling that I was going to poop on the bed when he walked in. I thought it would be funny to let out a little fart cause I felt it coming up, but it turned into horror. I pooped on his bed, not a lot, just a little bit. He tried to comfort me and tell me it was fine, but I completely froze as the reality of what happened sunk in. I started cleaning it up immediately, but that doesn't take away any of my embarrassment. I was an irresponsible teenager for the first time tonight, and I loved it. I didn't do anything crazy. I told my parents that I was going out. I just told them it would be quick and came back hours later. We went to get ice cream at 11 p.m., got McDonald's at 12 and ate it in a parking lot, and then went to a playground at 1:15. Then we just took a drive. I got home at 2. It was so much fun to drive around town, windows down, blasting music and singing along. I'm 18, it's not illegal and my parents can't tell me no anymore, but it just felt so rebellious. After so many years of being so afraid of getting in trouble, it's great to finally feel free like this. What are some unethical life hacks? Give fake money to homeless people. They will thank you for it, but also when they get arrested and taken to jail, it'll reduce the number of homeless people in your area. Having an affair? Change your lover's contact name in your phone to Scam Likely, so your primary partner won't question why you're getting so many calls. If you want to spy on anyone secretly, there are devices out there that basically have invisible hidden cameras built into the charger. Edit, since everyone was asking, I got mine at thespycharger.com. When you give someone a gift card as a gift, write down the card number and code. Then after a year or two, check the balance, and if they hadn't used it yet, just use it yourself. They obviously won't know or care. If you need to lie about something, include an embarrassing unnecessary detail. After all, why would you intentionally lie to make yourself look bad? Learn how to read Braille and create a cheat or answer sheet for a test and put it in your hoodie pocket. You can feel the answers with your fingers without looking away from your test.